All right, so since we've been doing the sort of mathematical thing a bit today, I thought I'd do a little piece about Fourier Transforms, because you love Fourier Transforms. Who loves Fourier Transforms here? Who hates them? Who can do one in their head? There's only 3 of you who are not lying. The rest of you, it's true. What is a Fourier transform? Can you give me a click? All right. A Fourier transform is something that allows you to take a random arbitrary wave, like this one, and break it down into some sort of building blocks. Okay, building blocks made of sine waves. We know what a sine wave is, it's nice and smooth, and you can take any random wave and you can say, well, it's made up of a bunch of sine waves, some of them a bit longer, changed frequency, some of them with a smaller amplitude, bigger or shorter or taller, and you can add them all up. And you may need quite a lot of them, but you can add them up and reproduce that wave. Basically, it's an analysis tool. And why is this important? Because we experience the world through waves. Right? Eyes are light waves. Ears are sound waves. So this is kind of useful for us. So if I showed you that, that's one colour, right? It's red. And that's a low frequency. So then equivalent to a nice low note. All right, what about this one? It's a higher frequency. So that's equivalent to a higher note. There's an even higher frequency. Okay, so there you go. We've got waves happening. Now what happens, according to Microsoft PowerPoint, these are the exact colours where, the frequencies of the colours. 3.8 by 10 to the 14, 5, 7.7 by 10 to the 14 hertz. And if I put this at A, it's 440 hertz, and so on. Anyway, how many colours do you see in there?
3.
In this bit. Ignore that bit down here, just the square thing.
2.
1, it's purple. In it. Who says it's not purple and is not being a rat bag? That is in fact, how do you make purple? Red and blue. It's actually 2 notes. But you see only 1 colour. What about that? Brown, 3 colours. 3 notes. What about that? What frequencies are white? Okay, so that's what white sounds like. But you guys could tell that there were 3 notes there, couldn't you? When I played that, you went, yeah, 3 notes, I know that. So your ear was doing a Fourier transform. Your eyes, not so much. Your eyes said, no, that's only 1 colour. I can't Fourier transform that. So eyes, I'm here to tell you, suck. So let's come back to this. Have we got any musicians in the audience who might be able to tell me what I'm playing here? 3 notes. What's the relationship between that one and that one? That's an octave. And what's the physics relationship for an octave? Double the frequency. What about... So that's a fifth. And that's 3/2 in frequency. So, those musicians who can work out that we've got a fifth and an octave, you have done a Fourier transform and found out that this wave, which is what I was just playing, is sine x plus sine 3/2x plus sine 2x. Congratulations to you. There's a lady in the 3rd row who I'm sure nailed that. Congratulations. You did a Fourier transform. In your head. In your head. How amazing is that? So how does this happen, right? It's all to do with the ear. You've got your eardrum there, and there's this wonderful little series of levers, a bit of engineering happening, the three bones, the malleus, the incus and the stapes, the hammer, anvil and stirrup, and they actually give this little vibration that goes into this sort of snail thing called the cochlea. And the cochlea is the magic that can do this frequency analysis. The high frequencies get picked off early and the low frequencies go all the way through, and that's how your brain is then able to work out different frequencies. Your eye, on the other hand, it has to use three separate detectors. It's got cones, which are colours. Cones are the black and white. They give you basically brightness, and then the rods give you red, green and blue. And I don't know if you've ever engaged with a intelligent designer who might have told you that eyes are proof of God's design. Well, I've got to say God would have failed design in engineering because he put the wiring on at the front, which means there's all this stuff blocking our retina. That's why we have a blind spot. So actually, yeah, no, that's a fail, God. You've not passed engineering. And also the sensitivity of the three different cones is, is different. The blue is very, very weak, whereas the red and green are quite strong. So I was thinking about why this might exist, right? Because you look at this, which again, according to Microsoft PowerPoint, tells us that the one on the left is two colours and the one on the right is only one colour. But if your ears were listening to this, then you might be sort of sitting quietly by a stream, having a lovely time, going... and you're feeling all relaxed. And then... something sneaking up behind you, right? And if it was an eye, it can't detect that because it just smushes it if it's a very quiet little versus a loud. Then your eye cannot tell the difference between those two colours. But your ears, which are sort of scanning all around, they're actually doing a bit of analysis all the time. So maybe that's why it's useful. That's my evolution theory from a physicist who really knows anything about it, and I'm sure Josh is probably going to shoot me down up the back there. But anyway, just coming back to this blind spot thing, and the funny thing is that God might have failed engineering, but the octopus god passed. In octopi, the wiring's on behind, and there's no blind spot. How about that? And since we're in an age of AI, you can Google what does an octopus god look like. And somebody's knitted it, of course. Why wouldn't you knit an octopus god? Anyway, I'd like to have a vote. So who would rather lose their ears than their eyes? Who would rather lose their eyes than their ears? Oh, the eyes have it. Thank you for that groan. Now, I like to finish off with a song, and the one that came to mind was The Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Who remembers the song? Who remembers the band? Like, look at them. Look at what an 80s. Look at the pants. Look at this. The leather pants, braces and a beret. And what I find interesting, you know, from a sort of, here's the waistband, 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 waistband. What's this pants doing right up there? Anyway, it was quite a good song, Eye of the Tiger, right? Except for one scientific fact. And that is that tigers, cats generally don't have such good eyes. We have better eyes than they do. Okay, they can see in the dark, so they've got a little bit better brightness, but they also have that funny, not a circle, but a slit, and that means up close they really don't do very well, and they don't have as good colour. And so that's what a tiger would be seeing, whereas we see that. So, a song for Survivor. So I'd like you to sing along. I was trying to get Simon to play this, but... Sorry. Actually, I need a rhythm section for this. I really do. It's kind of missing the drums, isn't it? So can I have a bit of a... Thank you, that's better. I'm a hunt looking for prey. Times are rough, staying hungry. In the distance, there's a vague group of shapes. Could be rocks, but I'm not really sure. So many times it's happened of late. I've chased a bush in the grassland. Time to listen, cause my eyes aren't so great. I need more than just will to survive. It's the ear of the tiger, so much better than sight. Find the frequencies made by a springbok. Now I'm going to survive and I'm praying the night with the Fourier Transforming ear of the tiger. Cones and rods cannot compare to the power of a cochlea. Colors jumble, it's defective hardware, hides the whispers of prey in the grass. It's the ear of the tiger, so much better than sight. Find the frequencies made by a springbok. Now I'm going to survive by stalking prey in the night with the Fourier Transforming ear of the tiger. It's the ear of the tiger. It's the ear of the tiger. Thank you.